Hello everyone, and welcome to what should be the final failure of Thronebreaker. Unless we pull some more BS and have to go track Duke Ardon down to, I don't know. Across the pond or something. Anyway. We are in
all of you. Treat yourself to our new view for a better future through and through.
Okay.
First foundations hoist the walls, then we'll revel in its halls. Everyone's doing their part to rebuild the homeland. First foundation.
Herp. Oh, yep, the last loot. We have claimed it. So now then, we have nothing really left to do but to go in this, I suppose.
It'd be an honor to fight at your side, Majesty.
I'm sure it works.
Side by side, we'll kick those black clads across the Yaruga. Long live Eden! Long live Rivia! Long live Hyrule! Lyria!
What? Seriously?
Side by side. Side by side. Long live Eden! Long live Rivia! Long live Hyrule! Lyria!
What the hell are you doing in my game? This isn't... What was that? Legend of Zelda Dynasty Warriors game. This isn't that. Oh yeah, Hyrule Warriors. This isn't that. Anyway, stop.
The Lyrian Corps neared Aldersburg, and it could not have been on a more idyllic day. The sun shone, birds sang, trees rustled in the light breeze. But Meve saw it as she had at the war's start. Walls illumined by a fire's glow, the cries of fleeing civilians, the stench of burning flesh.
That's good to be back.
As on that day, Aldersburg was under siege. Yet this time, Eden's flags fluttered in the field, while Nilfgaard's tattered sons crowned the fort's towers. The Queen found Demavend's tent without difficulty. Made of sheets of silk edged with silver thread, it positively shone.
Seems the realm's restored to a virtuous path,
muttered Meve.
Aha! There she is! Queen Meve, savior of the North, the Sun Slayer.
Mockery I don't appreciate.
I wouldn't dare. Not my words, those. You've been painted thus in song. Master Dandelion himself wrote a ballad, The Battle for the Bridge. If you take the bard at his word, you're as fierce with a blade as any witcher.
Yeah, remember how they abandoned us?
Is that jealousy I hear?
To be perfectly honest, Meve, it is. For I hadn't the pluck nor resolve. And when all the North tucked tail, went to shite, you alone stepped up and bared your fangs. Let it be a lesson for the future to us all.
You called out the future. Tell me, how's your son?
Baldwin. Growing like a weed he is. And the spitting image of his old man.
Good news all, especially given the mother's profession.
She's now Countess Demeretta of Gullet, a lady of the court.
Ooh, your lawful wife must be thrilled.
Hard to say in truth. I've not seen her in some time. Duty keeps me away, you understand.
You work hard, I'm certain. Many a night, too.
You might say so indeed. But enough about me. as we're chirping away like two gossips in the field? Do tell me, what a villain.
Oh yeah, he's still alive.
He's here with me.
Ah. In chains, perhaps?
No.
No. In coronet and robes. We came to an understanding. What's past is past. A lesson for the future? What do you mean?
My dear, this war won't change a bloody thing, you know. Nilfgaard will be Nilfgaard, the North, the North.
Yeah, this war won't change the fact. It's just gonna make Nilfgaard come back. Thing is, with even more underhand tactics. Because basically, the first war, Nilfgaard came in, got their ass kicked by sorcerers and stuff. So, they started training maidens. They sent spies in, infiltrators, all that fun stuff. They were doing really good this time. But they still lost. Before even the Third War began, they assassinated almost all the leadership. Then tried again. Did pretty well until Radovid held them off for quite a while because it was, you know, invading cavalry, uniting the North against them. The whole Nilfgaard trade empire not agreeing with the Emperor, constantly being at war. Because war isn't exactly that great one. The inner economy. And
We'll sign a truce, the Blackclads will turn tail towards home, but the old borders don't satisfy a soul.
I'm perfectly satisfied with them, thank you. And I just wish other folk would respect them too.
You're one hell of a warrior, but you're no strategist at all. Your perspective, you've got to broaden it. Nilfgaard, we cannot allow it to regain strength and spirit, else we'll face another invasion within a decade or two.
he is right about that.
Measures are required. Preventive, preemptive, whatever the learned call it. Build an army, a vast one. Wait in ambush. And when they least expect it, break their bloody spine. Just think, if we were to join forces.
Enough. I don't wish to hear it. Won't even entertain the thought. I'll help you take Aldersburg, but then I'll go home, where, God's willing, I'll live to a ripe old age.
As you wish. We can mount the assault at any time, but
But
my scouts report a small Nilfgaardian force approaching from the south. They've stayed off the roads, moved only under the cover of night, escorting someone.
who?
I've no notion. Could be a mage. Devilishly unpredictable, that lot. Could wreak havoc in our ranks.
I have an idea.
Either way, before we rush at the walls, we must make certain they don't reach Aldersburg at all.
I shall see to it.
Are you sure? You've just arrived. Must be weary after the long journey.
An understatement if I ever heard one.
I have to do everything.
But I wish all this to be over, quickly.
What's that?
Neve set out after the Nilfgaardians immediately, a cavalry escort in tow. Her unmatched scouts, who had led the army through the mountains of Mahakam and Angren swamps, quickly found the enemy's trail.
This way, Your Grace. It's not far now.
That very same day, Meve's force caught up to the mysterious black-clad unit. Lyrian riders surrounded the foe, forcing the Nilfgaardians to halt. All fell so quiet, the creaking of taut Lyrian bowstrings could be discerned.
The common tongue. Which of you knows it?
Probably this guy. He looks important.
I do, Your Majesty.
Oh.
You also know who you deal with, I see. What is your name?
Kaldvin, Your Majesty.
Sounds familiar.
At last, a Nilfgaardian name I can pronounce. So, Kaldwin, it seems this war will reach its end in 2 days' time at the most. 'Twould be silly to die today, wouldn't you agree?
It would, milady.
Precisely. I've spilled enough blood. I've lost the appetite for more. So, provided you don't give me a good reason to kill you, you'll walk away with your lives. Now tell me, you carry something for General Ebdahi. What is it?
A letter.
Urgent to the point of insanity, it must be. Who wrote it? The dear Madam Ebdahi?
No, Your Majesty. The Emperor.
My. A letter from Emir himself. You must be an important person. A noble, or... Yet your uniform is simple, with no discernible distinctions. Who are you truly, Kaldwin? A spy?
A simple messenger, Your Majesty.
Don't lie. I know messengers, how they travel. Alone, armorless, atop a swift steed. You're escorted by cavalry of the heavy sort.
For I often carry orders the recipients don't wish to perform, thus the escort.
I get why you feel.
Give me the letter.
I've sworn to deliver it to General Ebdahi, or to die in the quest to do so.
Oh, very well. My translator shall read this letter, then return it to you. You shall break no vow, and who knows? You might even survive.
And if I refuse,
Guess.
so be it. I accept your offer.
Meave's translator cracked the seal and read. And as he read, his eyes grew wide as saucers. Then he whispered in the Queen's ear.
Truly. And you're certain you're not mistaken. The wonders of this world. Kaldwin, consider this your lucky day. I allow you to complete your mission, with one proviso.
It's probably the whole unit. The Emperor's like, hey, we're surrendering for now. Coming to terms. Stop being a dick over that. We're not winning yet.
And that is?
That when you hand him the letter, you will give the General my regards.
As Kaldwin and escort set off towards Aldersburg, the Lyrian soldiers looked at their queen with disbelief. To leave a Nilfgaardian to fulfill a secretive task. Meave failed to stifle a rather mean laugh. They'll understand tomorrow, she thought. General Ebdahi had prefaced Lyria's and Rivia's invasion with a series of arrogant demands. The Nilfgaardian had been impudent, as he had felt sure he'd achieve a quick and decisive victory.
Ugh.
Yet several months on, he too received an ultimatum. One signed by Emperor Emir var Emreis himself. The missive was concise and left no room for interpretation. With General Ebdahi dead, the Nilfgaardian army descended into chaos. The kings of the north, united, took advantage and struck at the foe. Their victory was complete.
Up to my final fight.
The Nordling forces cheered their commanders and monarchs, but for none so vehemently as the one queen among them. Many dream of achieving the impossible. Meave had done it. Through wit, determination, and boldness, she had thwarted the Nilfgaardian invasion. The queen would rule for many more years. Stern, yet ever just.
Don't bitch here.
Ah! So a lass saved the North from the Blackclads?
That is one way to put it.
Well, I'll be damned. And a chap. She find herself one in the end?
Oh, you know, Red.
Leave it be. Bloke's been spinning the tale all night. Story's done. Time we got some shut-eye.
Yes. Particularly as we've yet a long road before us.
Oh, you know.
Phew. Throat must be parched as old leather after all that. Except, I'm itching to know what happened to the lot of them. Reynard, Gascon.
Gascon's dead.
Very
remember?
well. Whom shall we start with? Willem? He worked hard to regain his mother's trust and respect. Took on many daring missions, regardless of the risks. The lad who Nilfgaard had wielded as a tool now sowed terror along its borders.
Well done,
And
Willem.
appeared a successor most worthy of Meve. Meve spared no expense in bidding Gascon farewell. His peer lords themselves bore the casket, and soldiers in parade dress beat the funeral drums. The
F for
Duke of
Gascon.
Dogs, a marauder, was interred with honors befitting the truest of royals. As news of the Nordling victory filtered south, Nilfgaard's inhabitants greeted it with disbelief. Returning Imperial soldiers told stories of Lyria's cruel queen, who murdered prisoners and sullied sacred laws. They referred to her as Gvaeldet, the bloodthirsty one. Once the Scoia'tael had withdrawn from the northern realms,
That elf
non-rebel
was-
elves and dwarves emerged from the woods. Though they returned to their homes in human communities, they lived in fear of their neighbors, aware that the next massacre would eventually come. And
True.
Meve?
True.
As I said, she ruled with an iron hand, not fist. Reynard ever at her side, tempering, supportive. No longer a general and trusted advisor, he had to the Queen become something more. Much, much more. And now, if you'd allow me...
Course. Leave him be, lads. Let him get some rest. Till the time comes for the next tale.
Well, there you go. Thronebreaker The Witcher Tales. I must say, that was an interesting way to basically go into the Witcher universe and, well, tell a tale. Because you don't have to have, you know, Geralt constantly whirlwinding across the battlefield, murdering everything. You could basically just go into the lore and do a story. Of course, the way they did the story was a bit... because, you know, not everyone likes playing card games. Especially after going from the Witcher 3's cards to wherever this Gwent was. There's no such thing as a Skellige deck. Tradition! But yet, then there was this way of doing it. And then there was the Mahakanim way of doing it, which was Stone Herb. Yep, that was a thing. But I would really say this was enjoyable. To an extent. I mean, I didn't really care for half the puzzle battles. I had to look up quite a few of them because my mind doesn't process logic like their logic. Like, I see things in a complicated pattern, like trying to keep these units alive just to do this, but then I'm like, well, you have to sacrifice this unit, and then put this card on top of this card to buff this unit over here while buffing that unit, just to do 1 point damage to this unit. It's complicated and it makes my head hurt. Or it's not that complicated, it just wants you to go, put this card here. And now everyone's dead. But yeah, Thronebreaker. Honestly, pretty enjoyable. I'm a bit sort of disappointed with the ending because it's like... 2 videos back, we had the most bullshit fight. Well, we fought Duke Ardal, and he was basically just like, oh, by the way, I'm gonna pull this card. I'm going to look at your card. What's that? It's less than mine? Well, I'm gonna buff one of my units by 10. Then I'm gonna play my card. What's that? I played 2 Commandants at the end, so I have like 150 points. Well, I'm just going to keep playing these old cards, and then I'm going to play this card which lets me draw 3 more cards. It's like the most, like, unless you have a very set deck or better trinket setup, it's mostly RNG. Because, like, we didn't get a pikeman. Pikeman might have helped us hopefully win the first round and had it pass sooner. But he didn't pass. Like, he made us waste the majority of our deck on the first round. Which isn't exactly good because, well, you know. If you don't have any cards, you can't exactly play anything now, can you? Of course you do draw cards with the next round, but still. But yeah, and then he escaped. And then we ended up into this situation where we were going to go murder him. And nope, he gets this letter and I guess he committed suicide because we didn't have a final fight. It was just basically, well, it's over. And the recapping, it's like, yay, Prince Valorant after being effective. Sad that Gascon is still dead. Granted, actually got a decent ending in my opinion. But, you know, what about everyone else? I mean, what about Gabber? I guess he's technically on our court. Well, I haven't seen it. I didn't even get to see Raylo again. Or then there's everyone else. Like, what about Ike? What did he do? Where is Bell? It's like they basically just, I don't know. The ending felt a bit half-assed in my opinion. Also, we've gone through the credits enough. Just saying. You gotta be shitting me. Right. Okay, so I'm confused still. I realize what the problem. So before, if you remember checking at the thing, the last video, or maybe even before that, there was supposed to be 4 chests at the end though. I don't remember seeing any golden chest at all, so I completely missed them, apparently. Oops. But anyway, apparently it took us 19 hours. I'm pretty sure it took us longer than 19 hours. 57 quests completed, 36 standard barrels 1, 37 puzzles completed. We missed 4 golden chests, which is gonna bomb for me. Wait. Yeah. All credits found. Guess that's mostly loot. Recruits conscripted 27. You know, it says recruits conscripted 27. It means basically how many flags you touch, not the actual number. Because I'm pretty sure it's a lot higher than that. And we didn't illuminate all the shrines because half the time I'm around was mostly good. Sometimes. Well, towards the end it was mostly good. But anyway. That was Thronebreaker. Man, just down to that. Like, I'd go back and look at the chest, but apparently it doesn't really matter, because, yeah. Unless so, you know, unlocking things for the multiplayer Gwent game, which I'm never going to really do. So yeah, hope you all enjoyed, thank you all, and have a nice day.